Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Hellsing. Last time on Hellsing, we had Brotherhood, where we were introduced to Luke and Jan Valentine, who were starting to screw with the Hellsing organization. Led Saris and her men into a trap, which luckily they got out of, and then proceeded to attack the Hellsing organization as they were having a meeting with the Knights of the Round Table. Yeah, and we had a cliffhanger, and it's possible that Ferguson's dead, which sucks. That was basically it. Not a whole lot in that episode, but it was pretty interesting. And now we are moving on into episode 6, so we might as well just pop right into it. Here we go.
This is a shout out to all our listeners in the Roundtable Conference, and a special hello to that whoring little bitch, Miss Hellsing. Can you hear me?
We are the Valentine Brothers!
Alright, he just
I'm Jan Valentine,
beat him.
And it looks like you get to go first, old man.
Oh!
What the fuck?
Saris! Yay!
Bloody pig.
Alright, good. Save your commander.
The fuck? Thought that Alucard guy was the only one.
Nope. He is stronger than normal vampires, the chipped ones.
No.
A helicopter is prepped and standing by at the top of the tower.
Then let's go.
They've just destroyed our helicopter. Our enemies must have really done their homework.
Well, there goes that.
To be congratulated.
My enemies are not the trash that you've been fighting, police girl.
Oh, is that right?
I'm surprised they managed to get so many ghouls.
They're getting a little
inside.
sassy.
The angel of death. It's been too long.
The old dog and the new girl. The two of us make a perfect pair.
Angel of Death?
Miss Police Girl, please bring your nice new weapon with you.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that. I think you'll need it. Good lord, there are a lot of them. How do you pay for this much armor?
We assume you have some way to take care of this.
Of course, you do have some kind of contingency plan, right?
She's got 3, actually.
No matter how intelligent or how strong they are still nothing but vampire rubbish. They will not destroy the Hellsing family. These monsters dare to enter this house built on blood and honor.
Ugh.
I will see them all roast in the deepest pits of hell!
Ugh. Yes, ma'am.
I don't believe I left someone breathing on this floor.
Ooh. Oh! Yep. Ugh.
Oh dear, I missed. I suppose I'm not as spry as I used to be.
Tuh.
Fuck are you, old man? Boys, kill him!
Whoa! Oh, he's still fast for an old man. Oh, I love watching Walter kick ass.
Shit, you're fucked, Gramps. I most highly recommend pissing yourself, followed by a course of prayer to your impotent god.
Oh, shit. Throw it back at him. Dude, he's still a pretty good vampire hunter.
Miss Victoria, please be a dear and lend some artillery backup.
Oh, yeah, he's got backup. Oh, bitches love cannons. I love how fast he is. Oh man, that's so cool.
For your
End of the line, Alfred. Huh? Oh.
Nope. Alfred, that's
Are you
funny.
alright, Walter?
Ow!
Out
Ow!
of
That
practice,
hurts!
but unscathed.
Get off me,
That
you
was
stupid
quite the
bitch.
good tackle, by the way.
Oh,
Take it
well,
fucking
I
out.
used to be a cop, you know.
You're not
Yeah.
human either. God damn it! Get off me!
Now, my boy.
It's time you found out just how good I really am.
Oh,
You are pretty fast. Well, of course I am. I'm nothing like any vampire you've ever fought before.
well,
Because I'm the vampire who's going to put you in your grave.
He is legit.
And who was responsible for the freak chip implanted inside your body?
So the two of them are chipped still.
Still think...
He's really using that speed.
I shot him in the head. It's a trick. I mean, immortal, maybe. But nobody's that immortal.
Tuh.
Releasing control art restriction to level 3.
Oh shit.
Now I'll show you how real vampires do battle.
He's doing that. It's cool. Oh, now he's really going all out.
Wait a minute. What are you doing?
Oh, he's got so much more power. Well, there goes his arm. Oh, come on, Saris. They're already dead. Oh! Oh, shit.
Miss Victoria?
Ah! God, that is freaky.
Pick up your gun and attack me. Do something. The night is still so young.
Ugh.
And the real fun has yet to start.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
He's not that good.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Ugh!
You're just like the rest.
Yeah. Stronger, yes, but still just a chipped vampire.
Miss Ceres Victoria!
Huh. You alright, girl? Oh!
You're nothing but dog food.
Luckily, I have a dog. Look at how cute he is. Jeez Louise, he's so strong. Oh! Yeah, she's got it.
Fucking mercury ignition bullets?
Yep.
Give me the name of your master. I won't allow you to die until you do.
Oh. Well, that didn't work. You alright, girl? That's it. Alrighty. That is the end of the Valentine arc. That is the end of the Valentine brothers. A good episode, a good episode. Looking at both of them now, both episodes with the Valentine brothers, I almost feel like you didn't need that to be 2 episodes, but I get it. Like, you know, I don't know how you would cut this down to 1, but honestly, I feel like it didn't need to be 2 episodes, but it was still pretty good. Still pretty good. We can go ahead and pop into the notes on this one. The first thing I wrote down was Ferguson. He is alive. He got beat a little bit by Jan, but he is alive, which is good. And Saris was able to save him, so that's pretty good. I wrote down Integra. Integra going off on this. That was actually pretty cool, you know? Because that's the thing. It's like, oh, why is she so calm during this? You know, it's like, you know, she says the Hellsing organization has faced worse than these two, you know? So, and I like, you know, her getting so pissed and being like, you know, they entered this house which was built on blood, and I will send them to hell myself. Like, oh, shit. So, I like that. That was pretty cool. We got Walter. Walter doing some shit in this, which was pretty cool. We had Walter and Saris versus Jan and his ghouls, which was pretty nice. Man, I have to say, is like, you know, I know I've seen Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, but man, going back to this, you know, maybe it's because this is 2 episodes long, Jan Valentine is kind of annoying, you know? He is very annoying, so watching him get taken down is pretty nice. And honestly, kind of easily, you know? Like, kind of easily being taken down by Walter and Saris, which is pretty interesting. Hold up. Voice is starting to get a little tired. I'm going to need to give it a break soon. But yeah. But first off, we did get to see Walter in action, which, again, you know, yes, I've seen Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, and he did do some stuff in there. I do like his particular, not power, really, but just his weapon, you know? The gloves that have these, you know, completely thin wire that he just, you know, launches around and, you know, cuts through people. It's so cool, you know? It's so, like, imaginative, too, you know? Because, I mean, now, I've seen, the only other, like, time I've seen something like this is in My Hero Academia with Best Jeanist, you know? And his thing is that he has the power to control, you know, fabric, basically, and he does it very similarly, you know, where he controls threads. But, you know, that's more modern. This is probably in the early 2000s, I would say. So, you know, just this idea, you know, is so creative, you know? Like, you know, normally it's like, okay, weapons, you know, Alucard has a sword, not a sword, a gun, you know, Saris has bigger guns and everything, and it's like, okay, well, what kind of weapon would you use against a vampire? That's pretty cool, you know? That is really, really cool to use this kind of weapon, you know? So, I like it. And it adds sort of to the grace, I guess, you know, to the grace and charm of Walter, you know? I don't know. I really like it. So, yeah. And we also had Saris finally using her cannon. Bitches love cannons. And I think now she does love that cannon, now that she's used it, you know? So that was pretty cool, and using that to bust through the shields, which is interesting that, you know, Walter can power through a bunch of those ghouls, but he can't break the shields with the wires. It's kind of weird, but okay. So yeah, her using the cannon was pretty cool. And, you know, it's honestly because, like, okay, well, you know, cutting through flesh, I get that, but he also effortlessly cuts through bone with that. So, you know, how strong... I mean, I guess it makes sense that, okay, these shields are stronger than bone, but still, you know, you would think he would still be able to just chop through, but he doesn't. And I also like, you know, he is precise enough that he can restrain as well, because he just restrained Jan's arm. He didn't cut through it. Of course, it makes me wonder, could he cut through Jan? He didn't, but he did try to at first, and he missed, you know, and as he said, oh, you know, his eyes aren't as good as they used to be. So, but yeah, that was a pretty cool fight. You know, it's always great to have Walter kick some ass, you know. Okay, I wrote down chipped. So it seems the way they're implying it is that Luke and Jan are chipped vampires. They are chipped vampires, like we've seen throughout this show, but they're just so much stronger than any chipped vampire we've faced, you know? With, you know, Luke, he was definitely using his speed during that, and he was, you know, able to recover, and both of them were able to recover from gunshot wounds, which have kind of taken out past chipped vampires, at least. So yeah, that was interesting that, yes, they are chipped, but they are incredibly powerful, which was interesting. And the next thing I wrote down is Alucard versus Luke, which isn't really much of a fight, more of a complete takedown, you know? Which also happened with Jan. I wanted to also mention that. Just the way she tackles him was also pretty funny. That it's like, it was actually pretty easy to take down Jan, actually. And I do like, it's like, oh, that was a really good tackle. It's like, you know, I used to be a police officer. It's like, yeah, we all know that, though. We all know she used to be a police officer, so it makes sense, you know, that she was able to do that. Which, you know, is a joke in Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, where they say, it's like, oh, that was an incredibly good tackle. And she's like, gee, it's almost like I was a fucking police officer. So, anywho. But yeah, that was interesting. And yeah, Alucard versus Luke, where, now, even Alucard was sort of fooled at first. He was like, oh, shit, you are stronger. I like this. You're faster. You know, you're actually giving me a challenge. Which, you know, really the only challenge he's had so far is Anderson. And that fight was cut short, you know? So, Luke was like, oh, hey, a challenge. I want to have a challenge. Let's see. All right, I'll go ahead and unleash my restraints. Let's go. And then he quickly realizes, oh, this was about the extent of Luke's powers, you know? It's like, oh, I have all your vampire powers and more. It's like, bitch, no, you do not. You do not have his powers. You know, even Alucard was like, all right, come on, unleash your souls. Let's go. You know, sick them on me and we'll see who's stronger. And it's like, yeah, he doesn't have that, you know? Use your blood, regenerate your legs. Nope, Luke was just not that good. So that was also interesting that, you know, it's like, okay, even if, you know, he's chipped, but he's stronger, but he's not that stronger. You know, he's still weak compared to Alucard. So yeah, I did like that. And that was the last thing I wrote down was the restraint. That he seemed to unlock all the way to like level 1, basically. You know, but he did, you know, he unlocked to level 1, but he said, you know, unlock restraint until target is neutralized or something to that effect. So it definitely, all his power was locked back away, you know, once he killed Luke. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And I also like, you know, just what manifests out of his power, you know, a two-headed dog that he is also inside, and out of one of the heads pops his arm with his gun, you know? That is incredibly creative, you know? I like that. I like how creative they get with some of the powers and weapons in this show, you know? And speaking of restraint, we had a bit of releasing restraint on Saris when she was starting to get, you know, pinned in by all the Hellsing ghouls. And then something clicked in her, and she just went to town on them. To the point, like, even Walter was like, whoa, hey, you alright? And then she came out of it. Like, some sort of weird trance, basically. Honestly, it's probably a lot like, you know, it's probably a lot like Alucard. Like, maybe she inadvertently unleashed a lot of power, you know? So, I don't know. Maybe we'll get a bit more of that in the future with, you know, her maybe having to form her own restraint levels, you know? So that would be really cool. But yeah, overall, it was still a good episode. I do sort of feel like you could have cut this down to one episode. I don't know how, so you know, I'm not really going to dwell on it. It still works as 2 episodes. And it is also interesting, you know, just the fact that the 2 of them were stronger than any chipped vampire they had ever faced, but they still weren't strong enough to face Alucard. So, or Jan wasn't even strong enough to really face Walter. So yeah, really did like this. It was very interesting, and I'm curious to see where we are going next time. So yeah, that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Hellsing reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit the notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.